Thank you very much, Don, for your words. I think we've already started a dialogue, and I think you'll find when I get to my talk, I'm going to be quoting a certain Professor Barry in my own comments. Don mentioned our connection with Michael D. Higgins, and you'll find on page 1 of the brochure the quotation from his speech at the LSE in which he refers to Ruth Levitas's work and the work of the center. We're going to have a video greeting from the president in just a few seconds, but let me just say that this is yet one more turn of a spiral of relationships and connections that we have with Michael D. Higgins. Citizen Michael D. Higgins appeared twice at Ralahine events in the past. He launched our book series, and then when Petter organized the Conversation series in ISKS, Michael D. and Ruth appeared in a conversation together. So we like to think that somehow out of this very fruitful engagement with utopian thought and utopian conversation, he's taken that further, as Don has said, and is calling for a robust and critical utopianism as we look at our society and what needs to be done. And in fact, there was the LSE speech, I think it was Mihal that got in touch with me, and he said, let's do something about this. In his very good way, and that's what led to today's symposium. And so, for the next item then in the agenda, I'd like to turn to our president.
May I thank you for the opportunity to address your symposium with this short message of goodwill. Utopia is the name we give to that space in human capacity to imagine and to work for a better and alternative world to the one in which we live. There probably never was a time when we needed more to seek the capacity to be reflective, to consciously articulate philosophical options. Yet Europe seems weak in philosophy at the moment, and weak in public intellectual discourse. So let me congratulate all those associated with the University of Limerick's Ralahine Centre for Utopian Studies, for their creativity, courage and insight in establishing the centre in the first place, and for the hosting of such discourses as will contribute to the radical transformation of Ireland. I was pleased and inspired by my own previous visits to the centre, and to have had the opportunity of sharing a discussion with, for example, Professor Ruth Levitas, Professor Tom Moylan, and so many others. A recent president of the American Sociological Association suggested that there were 3 basic tasks of emancipatory social science. These he gave as elaborating a system diagnosis and critique of the world as it exists, envisioning viable alternatives, and understanding the obstacles, possibilities, and dilemmas of transformation itself. These are the tasks ahead of you today. Achieving a real utopia requires that we envision the contours of an alternative social world, one that embodies emancipatory ideals, and then go on to look for such social innovations as we can create in the world, ones which will move us towards that destination. According to one utopian researcher, Michael Burrow of University of California, Berkeley, the university is in crisis in almost all places across the planet. The ideals of academic freedom and university autonomy he sees as under threat from 2 sets of interconnected pressures: regulation through audit and marketization through commodification. And in the face of these twin forces that often work in concert, he suggests that we need to reformulate the meaning of the public university that is accountable to publics in civil society and not just to states and markets. Nevertheless, in North America, South America, across Europe, there is, I believe, an ineradicable yearning for authenticity. I use the term as it is used by the late Canadian philosopher Charles Taylor. This yearning for authenticity, for a critique that would return to the promise of the unrealized possibilities of a shared humanity, and to its delivery, represents a source of hope. It announces again possibilities. It seems to retain a faith in human creativity, in the ability of such creativity to correct a misplaced trust in the linearity and assumed neutrality of technology, and in reason itself. The utopian method should be central to the process of education at all levels, by asking us to consider the interrelationships of all elements of a society and nature, and to look beyond the limited demands of a desperate pragmatism or an instrumental rationality. Utopianism challenges us to see how all our learning and all our work reaches towards the horizon of differing, ever better worlds. If education is to be something other than rote learning or the production of obedient subjects, if education can be recognized as a dynamic process helping students and citizens learn about their possibilities, then the utopian imagination must be seen as central to this work. Ireland is so fortunate to have such visionary, creative scholars as Professors Ruth Levitas, Sir Christopher Frayling and Tom Moylan, contributing to your symposium and helping to embed and incite the discussions with their originality and courageous research and scholarship. It is also so welcome that those practicing utopia, such as Padda Carby, Abbot Mark Patrick Heatherman, Micheál O'Sullivan, and Merit Buchholz are with you to demonstrate how our shared common hope of a better world can be made tangible and come to life in our midst. This is an excellent and inspiring mix of disciplines, ideas, and expertise that should truly rouse all those fortunate enough to share the day. I wish you well. Berbanacht Limerick.